Cyberpunk 2077 is definitely one of 2020's most exciting games, and CD Projekt Red, they're starting to talk about it a lot more. We recently had our first episode of Night City Wire, a regular news update from the development team, where we got to see more gameplay than we ever have done before, and it looks absolutely awesome. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open world sci-fi RPG from the creators of the Witcher series. It's based in the near future in a fictional urban mass called Night City. The game looks absolutely huge and dense and full of NPCs, story missions and side quests. So you can create a character, and the character creation options look immense, with more than your standard body type, face and hair options. There's definitely loads more in there. There's a variety of combat options in the game too, ranging from close range melee attacks to mods, including dagger attachments to your arms, and of course guns too. So hacking is a big part of the game, where you can use your cyber modifications to hack into various systems, including your own body, to make improvements. The game is played from a first person perspective and looks detailed and gorgeous in terms of graphics and fidelity. Night City is filled with back streets, characters, police and gangs, and they're bound to make your story interesting. There's going to be a mainline campaign of course, although we don't know yet how long that's going to be. The game isn't strictly a first-person shooter, but parts of the gameplay are definitely going to feel like one. Back in 2018, a long gameplay demo was shown behind closed doors at E3, which was then released later to the public. Here our character V was fast, agile and could trigger a Matrix-style bullet time effect. And these effects all seem to be related to character mods, which you can apply to V, which you'll be able to collect through your RPG experience. As you make your way through the game, you'll collect new guns and mods, and you'll be able to level up too. As well as the mobility enhancements, we got to see other mods like optical improvements for zooming on items and objects, shooting around corners with ricochet bullets and sword implants for arms. Melee combat shown off in the recent Night City Wire looked fairly standard, and some of the feedback said it looked and felt a little bit clunky. But it's worth saying that this is the very start of the game, and as you level up and get more mods, you're clearly going to become more powerful. We can battle one-on-one with our fists and guns, but we can also deploy cyber attacks too. So if an enemy attacks, then we can hack into their personal cyberware to knock out their guns to make them stop working mid-battle, as well as access data about them too. It looks like there's a range of smart ways that you can take out enemies in Cyberpunk 2077. Also in the recent Night City Wire we got to see an example of something called brain dancing. So this puts you in someone else's recorded experience, allowing you to relive it, move around as if you were there and help solve mysteries and investigate from all angles. Just think Return of the Obra Dinn, but on steroids. It looks like it's going to add a whole new dimension to the game and a welcome break from all the FPS action. There's dialogue too, with it being a massive RPG from CD Projekt Red. However, it's not entirely clear yet how it's all going to work. No doubt your choices are going to affect your gameplay experience and story, but we'll just have to wait a little bit longer to find out more. Night City is going to be where you spend a lot of your time. However, we found out recently that one of the starting areas is actually outside the city in the desert style landscape. Think Las Vegas, a huge sprawling city in the middle of a desert. So the city itself, it feels big, bustling and dense with loads of characters. And the earlier demos seem to be a little bit more packed than recent footage that we've seen, so we're going to have to wait and see once again to see what it's like when we get our hands on this game in November. Night City itself is absolutely huge. There's 6 districts to explore, and you've got a range of cars and vehicles to use to get around the city. There was a really exciting car chase I saw in some of the gameplay demos that people have been posting online, where you're firing a weapon out of a car window against oncoming attackers in other cars as you twist and weave through the city, with the other guys eventually crashing and blowing up. It all looked really slick, stylish and high octane. There's also going to be multiplayer elements to the game. That's not going to be added though until after the initial launch. It's likely that this is going to be included in a future DLC, much like Red Dead Online was back in 2018 and 2019. CD Projekt Red has stated it's going to be a story-based RPG experience with amazing single-player playthroughs, but multiplayer features are going to be added. We're going to have to watch this space to find out exactly what's going to be added and when, but what this does mean is it's going to be supported after the initial game launches, and hopefully that means a long-term plan for the game to continue well after Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. Well, that's much of the information that we know about the game right now. The game comes out on November the 19th, 2020. It's going to be available for PC, PlayStation and Xbox, with upgrades available for next gen.